Hey, what's up, YouTube? Name's Dustin, and welcome to my channel if you're new here. Like I promised some of you guys, I am going to show you how to downsize your BARC speeder from the 501st Battle Pack, and then as a cool little bonus here, we have the same, it's basically the same build for the speeder that comes in the Bad Batch shuttle. So, get that out of the way for a second, and we will jump right into this build. So starting off, some of the things that I changed about it is obviously the length of it. This thing is much shorter the way it is now, and it looks a little bit fatter, but it's okay because I, you know, minifigures are pretty chunky themselves. So I don't think that the speeder bark has to be extremely skinny like it is in universe or whatever you want to say. So I removed a bunch of the length, and I didn't really care all that much about the actual width of it. Pretty much disregarded that because of the width of the minifigures. So one of the things that I didn't like about the original build is it had stud shooters down here, and I know most of you dislike stud shooters like I do, so I wanted to get rid of that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into this. So one of the things that you'll notice about this is I actually used the stickers from the original build on this back piece here. This curved dark gray has all three stickers still on it. So if you've gone ahead and put stickers on there, that won't be an issue at all. The only issue that you'll have potentially, you can do this if you want, or if you don't want to, that's fine. Either way. I use this blue piece that goes on the long gray curved piece. I actually left that off of the long gray piece, and I put it on this shorter curved piece, and I think it works almost perfectly with this build. So if you want to do that, leave the sticker off of the piece that it's supposed to go on and actually place it on the shorter piece. I think it's a great way to enhance this build. But first off, we're going to start with this section of the build, which pretty much remains the same. So these little engine pieces right here, the only thing that I have changed about them are the weapons on the top here. The original build has the lightsaber hilts on the edge, and I don't really like the look of that. Plus, I wanted to get rid of the stud shooters that go on the front of the speeder. So I actually just replaced them with the lightsaber hilt that I didn't want to use on the back section. So that actually worked out very nicely. But otherwise, this build is the same. And in fact, you can take these from the original build and just set them aside for now. And we will take a closer look at the body of the speeder bike and my version of it. I'm going to take it apart right now, kind of take portions of it apart just so you can see how my build works. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the 2x12 long gray plate that comes in the set. There might actually be a longer piece that comes in the set, but either way, it's the 2x12 plate in light gray. And then on the very back of the underside, you're going to place this inverted slope here, which is not unlike the original build, but you're going to take some of this section out here and actually move it up top. So directly in front of that slope, instead, you're going to have these headlight pieces. And just to sort of stabilize it, you're going to place a 2x2 light gray brick on the bottom. And then this little scoop that I don't know exactly what this piece is called, but this creates a scoop up under the bottom here. I don't know if that's supposed to be some sort of air intake or what, but still looks pretty nice. And then these pieces that are right here that are they're sort of a graded piece, or it's supposed to look like a grill or something along those lines. We're actually going to take those out and put them up here, so we'll save them for later. So directly on top of this long gray plate, you're going to place I believe it's a 2x8 blue plate. So it'd be 2, 4, 6, 8. So yeah, it's a 2x8 blue plate directly on top, just 2 studs behind it. So once you get that placed on top there, Directly on the front edge of it, you will place a 2x2 tile slash plate. So it's like this is the seat portion of the build. So it's kind of nice to just put the front of the legs on here and not have to worry about pulling a piece off when you take your minifigure off. So I kind of like that they've been doing that for seat pieces lately, and just leaving the 2 studs on here. Directly behind that, we have the gray pieces on either side, and then you just put the 1x2 blue plate with the stud in the middle on top of those. And then this portion of the build is the exact same as the original build. There's 2 1x2 bricks that go right here, and then I'll take these off just to show you what I mean. So you'll have a 1x2 brick and a 1x2 brick, and they have these crosses going through them so that it can thread this Technic axle through. It's the same as the original build, though. If you look at the instructions, it clearly explains how to do that. So if you've already built it, you can leave that the same. And then you put these stud and middle pieces back on top. Directly behind that, you have a 1x2 light gray piece with the stud and middle on top of that as well. Take this off real quick. Another stud and middle piece on the very back edge of that 2x8 blue plate. And then you just stick another headlight on the back there, but the headlight has one of the cheese slopes on the back of it. And when you put this all together, it has a nice slope to the back side of the build that looks pretty nice. It's not perfectly round, but I think it looks pretty neat. So directly in front of that blue plate that you have placed there and the seat, you'll have this tile piece with the stud in the middle, and this section of the build is exactly the same. This little handlebar piece, you build it the same way as the original set, and then you just stick it directly on top of that plate there, or sorry, that tile with the stud in the middle. And just goes directly on there. It's not the sturdiest, but it does look pretty good right here. You can still get a minifigure in the seat, and you can still have them utilize these handlebars, whatever you want to call them. They're throttle pieces, I believe. Anyway, directly in front of your handlebars, though, we have the start of the slope on the front of it. So we have these 1x2 blue tile pieces placed directly in front of the handlebars, as well as your pointed blue piece that comes in the set. Just the piece that goes directly on top of the front of the original build. Nothing too crazy. And then you're going to have a 1x2 tile, and then another 1x2 tile with the stud in the middle. That will be placed on top of those blue plates. And then directly in front of that, another stud in the middle. And then you place the curve directly on top of that, and it should go nice and flush with the point on the end of this. And so we have the final section of the build. This front piece is a little more intricate than the rest of it. It keeps the same basic shape from the original build. You have that curved, sort of angled edge at the very front. And you keep this bar piece here. This is all the same. But I'm going to take these pieces off just to sort of show you. That same seat piece that we used right here is actually utilized right here as well. But we're actually going to have the studs on the backside. Sorry, this keeps going out of focus. Anyway, so we're going to use a dark gray 2x4 piece. You place the curved piece on the front here, and then you place the bar piece, and then the same piece that is used on the seat, but the studs are in the back here as well. And then this whole section is built together. So you have a bracket piece, this blue bracket piece. You have two of those on the underside of a 2x3 blue plate. So put those on the underside, and then on the top side you're going to have a tile, because that tile has to be flush with this blue piece that will attach later on. So keep the tile right here. On the underside of it, we have a sloped black piece. It's an inverted slope, and then a tile on top of it, 1x2 gray tile on top. So once you're done building that section, it actually just goes on here. You have to sort of thread it through this hole, and then it fits on there very nicely. As for these parts, it's just a clip with the lightsaber hilt on there, lightsaber hilt, and the trans red piece on the end here. You put a gray, I believe they're, I think they're called grills maybe, either way. You put that on the edge of those bracket pieces on either side, and that is the last section of the build. It goes directly up under the front of that long gray plate piece, and when you put it together, this should come flush right against the tile, and you have a nice tapered front end of this build, and I think it looks beautiful that way. Last portion, you just stick these directly on the back the way that they came off. And voila, that is your downsized version of the speeder bike that comes in the 500 First Battle Pack. The same basic idea or concept is used with the Imperial speeder bike that comes in the Bad Batch shuttle. The only difference with this is the build isn't exactly the same, but you can use most of the pieces in the set, with the exception of, I think you have to use the same pieces from the 500 First Battle Pack. You'll have to like salvage them from another 500 First Battle Pack or something, but I think these pieces right here do not come with the Imperial BARC speeder. So I think that was the only section of this build that was really any different. Up under here you have a little bit different build, but that was just because I was trying to use only the pieces in the Bad Batch shuttle set. So you might actually get around this by, doing the same build that's on the 500 First Battle Pack, maybe in just different colors, but it's pretty much the exact same build though, and I didn't really have to use very many pieces from any other sets. It was mostly just the pieces from the Bad Batch shuttle. So if you want to downsize that one, by all means downsize it, and by all means you should upscale your Bad Batch shuttle and completely change the color of that, since it's not too accurate compared to the show. I have actually made a complete redo of the shuttle in Bricklink Studio, and I should be featuring the real life build some point in the future on my channel. I think within the next month or so I will have the design fully done. It's a few $100s worth of pieces. It's not cheap at all. I think I've spent over $350 on pieces for just that shuttle. So it's going to be a big UCS style Bad Batch shuttle, and I hope you guys really enjoy it, because I spent a long time creating it, and right now I'm building the whole thing and working out all the bugs, and I might actually make instructions to sell on my channel for it. So if that would be something you guys are interested in, please let me know in the comments. If you want to see my version of the Bad Batch shuttle, you can actually follow my Instagram page at Juggernaut Bricks, and you can check out, I have a full minifigure scale Juggernaut that I am actually collaborating with Brick Moon. They're going to make the instructions for the set, and so I'm really looking forward to finishing up the Juggernaut. It's almost completely done. We're going to make some minor adjustments to it, and then hopefully I'm hoping by the end of the year get some instructions put out for that. If that's something that you're interested in, please let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. Any bit helps out, but commenting is a really big thing for a new channel. If you can comment anything down in the bottom, helps new guys out. So I would really appreciate that, and thank you guys for your time. Hope you enjoy the sorry, not the Bad Batch shuttle, the BARC speeder from the 501st Battle Pack. Thank you very much.